Welcome, everybody. Welcome back to Music Talk Mondays. It's a weekly podcast where I do discussions talking about all things related to music. So whether we be talking about our instruments, artists, your favorite bands, your favorite songs, your favorite albums, soundtracks, and much more, this is what this podcast is all about. It's all about just talking all things related to music. Now, here is what the format is going to be. So normally I always do have a topic to talk about for half hour, 45 minutes or so. So usually I would have a specific topic to talk about, and then I go into open Q&A and open discussion after that. But it's a very special day, and the reason why is because it is my birthday tomorrow. Tuesday, December 22nd is officially my birthday, or I guess on midnight. Depending where you guys are from. But yes, December 22nd is officially my birthday. And instead of the, usual format where I talk about a specific topic, I figured this time I'm just going to leave this show just specifically for open Q&A that you guys have and all things related to music. Thank you so much. Yes, thank you so much for the birthday love, everybody on TikTok. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. So, before I go on to today's podcast, I'm going to have to make my usual announcements that I think is necessary. Oh, by the way, if this is your first time tuning in today, welcome to my podcast. I really appreciate it. Welcome to everybody on both Twitch and on TikTok. You guys on both platforms are amazing people. Thank you so much for being a loyal audience for quite some time now. I always do my best to do things just to talk about all things related to music, because a lot of us are music fans and we want to have discussions, whether it be from different perspective on things, just talking about things behind the scenes, talk about things as a musician or as an audience member who loves music. I always love to hear different sides of stories on things. That's what I'm here for. So anyways, before we go on to our open Q&A discussion today, I just want to make the usual announcement that I think is really important. So I have a website, it's EddieLamMusic.ca. That's my official website. And then, of course, I also got social media. So I got Twitch. I got TikTok, of course, which I'm tuning into you guys right now. I got Instagram. I got YouTube. I got Facebook. And I also got Twitter. And they're all under the same username, EddieLamMusic. Look me up on there. I would love to connect with you guys either way. Now, if you also enjoy the content that I've been posting on all my social media platforms, feel free to either donate to my Patreon, which is patreon.com/EddieLamMusic, or you can go to my PayPal, which is paypal.me/EddieLamMusic. So if you want to do that old school donation, I'm cool with that as well. PayPal.me/EddieLamMusic is also that cool username that you can go to on my PayPal if you want to donate however much you want. It doesn't matter how much you guys donate. I just appreciate you guys just for enjoying what I do, enjoying my content and everything. So, yeah. What else is there? Okay, yes. And, of course, for those who don't know where I am podcasting from, where do I live? I'm actually from Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, which is the home of such stars, including, of course, Michael Bublé, Carly Rae Jepsen, DOA, one of the most amazing punk bands, Skinny Puppy, and much more. The list goes on and on. So thank you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate that. Now, this is a cool time to start doing open Q&A then from you guys. So if you guys have any questions for me that you want to talk about, whether it be about your instruments or favorite artists or bands or whatever like that, type in the comments section below. I would be more than happy to answer your guys' questions that you may have. Oh, yes, and Jules on TikTok says 5440 is also the home town. They also live in Vancouver as well. So, yes, of course, 5440, I've seen those guys in concert, I think, twice. And they were free concerts, too. Because I seen first time I saw them, it was at the Canada Day Festival in downtown Vancouver in 2009. Yeah, no, sorry, 2008. That's when I saw those guys live. Okay, and now questions are happening right now, so let's turn to it. BC Davis 6 says, what was the first song you learned on a guitar? It was Smells Like Teen Spirit on acoustic. I didn't have electric yet, but I decided to learn Smells Like Teen Spirit, and yes, I've always wanted to play that, and I was able to pick it up pretty fast because it was actually not that hard. So yeah, so that was my first song. What? Oh, Kim the Beard is asking, what is currently your favorite band, past or present? So I would say right now I'm digging Kellen Quinn from Sleeping with Sirens. So some of you may know about Kellen Quinn. So he is the lead guy for Sleeping with Sirens, one of the coolest emo rock bands of the 2010s and beyond. But he recently had a brand new project, a solo project called Downer Inc. And I gotta tell you guys, it's a really great project. The sound is amazing. Definitely worth checking out. So if you look up Downer Incorporated, Downer Inc., there's a song called Generation Z, or Generation Z as we call it here in Canada. It's a really great track. Find it on YouTube. You'll find it on there. It's good. So I would say check it out for sure. Footy Great on TikTok saying, hey, it's my boy Eddie. Love your work, my man. Thank you so much, Footy Great. I really appreciate that. And thank you so much for tuning into my podcast tonight. This is something I like to do every week, just to interact with you guys, because I always love to entertain you guys online. Like I do. I also love to post my tutorial videos as well on my TikTok and Instagram, teach you guys how to play certain songs on rhythm guitar, right, on acoustic guitar. But I never really. This is the only channel that I think is so cool where we just sit down and just hang out and just talk about all things related to music. Or even answer you guys' burning questions about playing guitar and all that. BC Davis 6 on TikTok is asking, British rock bands versus American rock bands. Oh, this is a hard one because, I mean, I love British rock bands because you get bands like Led Zeppelin, Black Sabbath, of course, Ozzy Osbourne solo stuff, obviously The Who. You got Eric Clapton. You have Dire Straits. You have The Police. You know, all those good bands came from there. American rock bands, it really depends who it is. But, of course, you know, I don't mind some amazing artists such as John Mellencamp, obviously. Of course, the legendary Bruce Springsteen. All my favorite metal bands, of course, like Metallica, Nirvana being from Seattle, and all the grunge bands from Seattle, basically. And, of course, my favorite new metal bands, all my favorite screamo bands are from there, too, from the States. So it's hard for me to choose between those categories, but that's all I can say for that. So I'm going to give those guys both my votes. George is asking, have you learned any of the new Luke Combs songs? Not quite yet, actually, George. George on TikTok is asking me about Luke Combs, but I would love to learn some new Luke Combs for sure. Santa3368 says, hi. Hello, Santa3368. Thanks for tuning into my podcast tonight. Zach on TikTok is asking, are you good at playing guitar? I would like to say I'm more of an expert on rhythm guitar. That's more of my expertise. I got some friends who are amazing shredders. Like, they can do solos like you wouldn't believe it. So if you guys ever want me to try to capture videos of my friends who are good at shredding, like, let me know. I would love to try to one day get a video out of those guys and show them to you. Footy Great says, you've increased my acoustic guitar repertoire tenfold. Sure. Oh yeah, thank you so much. I'm glad that I could help you increase your set list. Thank you so much, man. I really, really appreciate the kind words. George on TikTok is asking, what is my vocal range? So my vocal range, let's see, let me put it this way. I could sing, like, when it comes to jazz, I could sing Frank Sinatra, right? I could probably sing like Michael Bublé and Frank Sinatra. That is my range for sure. I've been trying to pick up doing Elvis impersonations too, so I've been like singing like Elvis and, you know, doing like that. It sounds much better with reverb, honestly. But I was so thankful to be able to sing within that range, so I can sing all those favorite covers, right? But when it comes to higher ranges, after doing a few streams here, doing my piano live streams, I would say I can do a song like "Come Sail Away" by Styx. I would love to do that song more often, but of course, I would prefer to actually do that song if, say, for instance, if I do like a bunch of songs in the lower range first. That way, I actually can warm myself up, right? Like I'm actually able to like be more warmed up, and then I will try to knock out some songs out of the park. Like some Queen songs, yes, like I can do "We Are the Champions" to an extent. I know you guys request me doing Queen all the time during my piano live streams here, but yeah, but I could probably. But when it comes to Queen, I'd say the highest range I could do would probably be songs like "Another One Bites the Dust." Yes, Jules is saying that it's an incredible song. Definitely, for sure. So for those of you who just tuned in, this is, again, open Q&A for my podcast this week. I usually have a specific topic to talk about, but I decided, you know what? It is my birthday tomorrow, or I guess at midnight, December 22nd. So I decided to make it an easy day just by doing open Q&A from you guys. That's it. Just a regular conversation. Open Q&A, open discussion about all things related to music. George Vasquez says, on a good day, I can reach you, say, Lauren Daigle, LOL. Nam on TikTok says, mahogany neck or maple hardwood type of neck, which is better for blues? Ooh. See, I used to honestly be more of a fan of maple hardwood, I would say. Okay, actually, the kind of guitar I really do want, if I ever do get the chance, if money is not an issue, I would love to get that one Fender Strat that has like this Olympic white, beautiful Olympic white coloring, Olympic white body, and that smooth maple neck. It's cool. And I actually had a friend that used to rent that guitar before, and he would play on it while he was busking. And I've managed to touch that guitar too, and it feels really nice, honestly. So if I could get my hands on that kind of guitar in the future, I would for sure. Jess on TikTok wishing me a happy early birthday. Thank you so much, Jess, for the happy early birthday wish. Totally appreciate that. So yeah, that is my guitar preference, I would say. But like honestly, the guitars I have, it's really cool. Like I'm really thankful to with the gear that I currently have. So yeah, but truth be told, yes, I do have a few electric guitars. There's one that is actually not in my, not at home, but it's actually at the jam space that my bandmates from the Naturals, and I are at. We shared a space actually with a music school called Horizon School of Music, and I actually share my gear with those guys because I don't want to go to waste. But at least I can have the music school play with my gear, because at least that way it's been put to good use, right? That's how I feel. That's my personal thing I want to do. I just don't want my gear to collect dust. So having those students and teachers use my gear at the jam space, since we're sharing the space together, I think it's really cool that they're able to use my stuff, and yeah, just go nuts with it. Let's see. Footy Great says, would love to stay, but everything time here in New Zealand, I got jobs to sort. No problem, Footy Great. Thanks for sticking around as long as you can, my friend. Thank you so much, and thanks again for the kind birthday wish and for the kind comments and for the questions as well. Always appreciate it. And yes, Merry Christmas to you too. Okay, so you guys have any more questions, comments, or whatever? Oh, Nam on TikTok is asking, is that a dead bird on my ceiling? No, it is not. It's just it's actually a cool shape of a bird made from some sort of paper or some special material, I think. But it's actually not mine. It's actually my wife's. She loves birds, so bird decor, any bird decor that you see in my home, it's all her stuff, basically. So, but if you guys want to know what's also behind me, that if you see that yellow thing here that's hanging on the wall, that is the Rock Lobster flag, which is part of the B-52's merch, because not me, but my wife actually went to go see B-52's live a few years ago, and she managed to buy that one merch there. So there you go. So, if you guys have any other questions, I am happy to answer them for you guys to the best of my abilities, of course. I can't answer questions like why is the sky blue because I'm not a scientist. But oh yes, actually, I should probably bring this up as well. So, if you guys ever want to ask for any requests of songs that you want me to teach on my TikTok, feel free to let me know. But as long as I'll look into it and see if it's doable under 1 minute, because that's the only thing, right? Because on my TikTok channel, if you guys have seen it, I always do the thing where I show you guys how to play guitar chords of songs that just repeat itself in just under 1 minute, right? It's something that's easy to follow and all that stuff. So again, my purpose is to aim more towards for either people who are still new to guitar, or also those who are professional musicians, but they're just looking for new ideas. So that's where I come in. But like I said, I was so happy with the growth of that channel since summertime, because my TikTok channel, before this gimmick even started, I only had like 85 followers before, and that was super sad considering I do enjoy TikTok, but I didn't really know what to do with it during that time. So I decided I wanted to use this app, use the TikTok app, and make it more useful. So I wanted my channel to really mean something, because when I first started the TikTok channel back in November of last year, in 2019, I was just using it for tomfoolery, basically. I was just goofing around and posting some nonsense here and there. Not that there's anything wrong with it from time to time, but for me, I really wanted to start providing something that's a little bit more useful, considering with all this that we're on lockdown and quarantine during the beginning of the pandemic. I figure, this is a good time to actually start putting myself out there online, go international, and educate people on how you can play certain songs if you have a guitar at home. That was my goal, and I didn't think it was going to take off, honestly. I was just going, if TikTok didn't take off, I was going to try to push more on my YouTube channel and also on my Instagram too, probably. But TikTok honestly has been such a great channel for me to be able to do what I enjoy doing, which is to show you guys how to play songs on the guitar, and nothing fancy either. Nice and simple, right? That's always been my goal, is to keep things really simple. I'm gonna look at more questions here. How long have you been playing? So how long have I been playing piano? I've been playing piano for quite some time, like more than 20 years for sure. So I've been playing a long time. So piano is actually my first instrument, and after that I picked up a guitar. So I was a teenager during that time. So so I've been playing guitar also for over 20 years as well. But like I said, I'm more of a rhythm guitar kind of guy. But I've been trying really hard to master more on my guitar solos as well, like my pentatonics. And quite honestly, I never really took any lessons. No formal training on guitar. It was just all school of hard knocks. Same thing with drums and same thing with bass. That was all school of hard knocks for me, basically. Singing, I actually had singing lessons back in 2001 through a really cool, amazing teacher who taught me so much in just a short amount of time, too. And she's a huge part of my life as well. My singing teacher is such a really cool, wholesome person. Both her and her husband are great musicians, and they are such community builders as well. Like, I think I've learned a lot of the community building side of things in our local music scene because of her. I don't know where I'd be without her, honestly. So it's great. Jess is on TikTok is asking, any electrical guitar recommendations for someone who is interested in purchasing one? Yes, Jess. So I would say, start off with a Squier Stratocaster if you want. But it all depends what kind of sound you're looking for. But if you're not looking for anything too specific, Squier Stratocaster would be totally cool to start things off. If not, you can also get one of those like a Les Paul knockoff, like not from Gibson obviously, but like from Epiphone, for example. So Epiphone is another great brand for beginners too. I would personally say. But if you do want to get some good deals, there's always Craigslist. Craigslist, you can always there's always somebody to get rid of their guitars, selling at a certain price. And if you feel that it's affordable, seems reasonable, then by all means, go for it. Go for it. But yes, like I said, a Squire branded guitar or Epiphone branded guitar would be ideal for beginners, in my personal opinion. I could be wrong. Is there anything else that you guys want to recommend too for electric guitars for beginners? Say so in the comments. I would love to hear from you guys. Again, we're here to build ideas upon each other, right? So yeah. Jules Robbie's asking how many songs can I play from memory. Probably a good chunk, honestly. Like I would say at least over 100, probably. But again, it really depends because I do lose track. I don't have a specific number, to be honest with you. So yeah. But I'm getting some comments here from Jules and Nam on TikTok saying Epiphone was the first guitar he's ever had. Cool, Jules. Nam says Epiphone Les Paul SL is awesome. Agreed. Jules, of course, says Law McQuaid Music Shop. Yes, Law McQuaid Music Shop does have some good deals as well. If you're from that's a Canadian company, for those who don't know. Law McQuaid is a really cool, well-known music shop across Canada. It's kind of like our version of Guitar Center, basically. So for those in the States, you guys have Guitar Center. I've been there before. I actually did not mind it at all. With me being from Vancouver, Canada, there is one store I do recommend also. It's called Play Music Incorporated. It's one of those cool, like, small music shops, like a mom-and-pop shop. It's awesome, honestly. I got some really great deals from there. My current electric guitar that I use, that I perform on both my recordings here on YouTube and also live on my live shows, that I got that from that store, Play Music Incorporated. Please make sure you check that out if you're in the Vancouver area. Hold on. Cassie says, I have a Jackson J522 Dinky. It's good and only $250. That is a great choice, Cassie. That's another good one as well. I've never owned a Jackson, honestly, but I would love to play one day. Oh, actually, for those who are probably wondering about my electric guitar as well, like my collection, so I do have quite a good few. There's a few that I'm not playing. One of them I'm not playing on because it was making some sort of weird humming noise like a couple of years ago, but I just never got a chance to honestly get it fixed yet, just because I never really had the time. So it's a Yamaha. It's a Yamaha electric guitar that I bought off an old friend of mine years ago. It actually still sounds pretty good, I would say, because I can tell there was some modification work being done on it, because the tone was quite awesome, honestly. But I gotta fix that buzzing, this little humming noise that I've been hearing. I think it has a lot to. Honestly, I don't know what it is. It's a grounding issue, I think. But again, like, this is where I'm not much of the tech expert when it comes to electric guitar science, basically. But that's why I leave it up to the experts. But of course, I have go-to repair people, so I always rely on them as much as I can. So yeah. Do you guys? Oh, here's a nice question for you guys. Do you guys have your own go-to repair people for your instruments? Let me know. Jules is asking, what do you think about the Line 6 amplifier? Oh my goodness. Well, my personal gripe about the Line 6 amplifiers is because, I mean, digital amps like that are pretty hit and miss, just because, like, for me, it's all about tone, right? But I do appreciate the fact that the Line 6 amps can have some built-in effects like, delay, reverb, all that stuff, right? All the good stuff. But it's the controls that I'm not much really of a fan of sometimes, That's just me. I guess for me, because my personal preference is I'll hook up my pedal, because I have my pedals for distortion and all those other effects already. So that's why I don't really necessarily need like something like a Line 6 amp to have those preset effects for me. I like to kind of manually create my own personal tones because I just don't want to sound like everybody else, basically. That's just me. But Uh, but like I said, but if I do have if there's like a decent like Line 6 guitar head, I would probably go for it if money is not an issue. But right now, my guitar head that I use, I haven't. Well, I honestly have not touched it for a long time because pandemic, right? But I have this 1978 PV Mark III Musician Series. It's a guitar head. It's heavy though. It's like it weighs a ton. Because most guitar heads today are pretty light, but this one was actually pretty heavy because of the transformers in there. So that's what makes it a little heavy to carry. So. But right now, though, I do have a trainer amp that I use for a lot of gigs actually since this year, just because I haven't been playing a lot of like big, ginormous venues lately. So that's why I have to have like this one amp at least that is nice and decent enough for smaller spaces. But I used to have like a very dinky trainer amp, but I got rid of that one. So instead I just bought this bigger trainer amp that was perfect amp for me. People are asking, it's your birthday? Yes, it is it will be my birthday on midnight, December 22nd. So yeah. Yes, I read your comments here. Cassie says, I'm not a fan of the sound. It gives me the Line 6 minus the Line 6 Spider V20. Yeah, I know a lot of people have criticized the Line 6 Spider amps as well. That it's just not the best sound, basically. So if anything, guys, you are better off I would recommend trainer amps for sure. Trainer amps are good. Fender amps, yes, definitely for sure. If you guys are using guitar heads, I actually would say the Fender FM100 guitar head is just as good too. The distortion channels are brilliant, but be very careful with the Fender FM100 guitar heads because the volume knobs are pretty sensitive. So even if you pass level 1 on a volume knob, it still gets pretty loud after that. So be very, very, very careful. I don't know why it's designed like that, but just be careful of that. JW Singh, Single Man on TikTok says happy birthday as well. Thank you so much for the kind birthday wish. I really appreciate that as well. And again, for those who just joined in, we are live on both Twitch and on TikTok. This is my weekly podcast called Music Talk Mondays. Music Talk Mondays is my weekly podcast where we talk about all things related to music. So we talk about artists. We talk about our favorite bands, our favorite songs, our favorite albums, our favorite soundtracks even. And, of course, our instruments. We can talk about instrument care, all that stuff, too. And usually, like I said, I usually do have a topic related to talk about in the first part of the podcast, talking about whatever things related to pop culture, or I give instrument tips or anything like that. That's what I usually do in my first part of my podcast. But today, because it's more of my birthday celebration, I wanted to make this nice and easy for you guys. Just have open Q&A all the way through this podcast. And I just love to engage with you guys. I love hearing from you guys, too, just so you guys know. So that's the question I wanted to ask you, though. Do you guys have a go-to repair person for your instruments or for your gear? Let me know who it is. Cassie's asking, what's a good, cheaper Marshall amp? Let's see. That's a very good question because I don't have a definite answer for that. But if you can find one within the $200, $300 range, even at least, it's still pretty good. It's a good start. But I don't have an answer for you just because Marshall is kind of not really my brand. It's not really my kind of brand I would own personally. I guess because my only reason why is because everyone has a Marshall already. Everybody already has those Marshall heads as well. So but the most commonly used combos when it comes to this kind of stuff is that somebody even famous rock stars, they would have a Marshall head, cab, and also a Les Paul hooked onto it. Almost every rock star has this kind of setup, or at least they did at one point. Let's see. Jules asking, have you had a chance to listen to any new albums this week? Jules, to answer your question, I would say Okay, now I know this guy's a controversial figure, but I'm gonna say it straight up. I have listened to Titanic Sinclair's new stuff that came out not too long ago, and I know he's a very controversial figure. If you guys didn't know about the whole thing, he was the mastermind behind Poppy, that very strange girl that you saw on YouTube, who also makes incredible music as well. But last year, Titanic Sinclair and Poppy parted ways, right? So people were actually hating on Titanic Sinclair as well, because I know he's got a pretty bad history of not being the nicest person in the universe. But you can't deny the fact that he's an amazing songwriter. So if you look up Titanic Sinclair, he actually even released a Christmas song on YouTube not too long ago, if I heard it right. But just look up Titanic Sinclair on YouTube, and you can find him on there. But like I said, Downer Inc., which is a project by Kellen Quinn from Sleeping with Sirens. Yeah, Sleeping with Sirens. That's his solo project, Downer Incorporated. Please check those guys out. Kellen's project out. It's actually pretty good. Recommend it for sure. Trying to get into water parks, believe it or not, too. There's one song that I really enjoy. It's 2 years old, but still a bop. Check out water park song "Not a Warrior." It has a cool 80s vibe to it. I know it's been such a trend, for the last several years or so, where people want to incorporate 80s tunes, like 80s sounding songs into their tracks. But Water Parks did a pretty good job at the song "Not a Warrior," where they actually used both that 80s sound and a modern touch to it too, modern rock to it. So check it out. You should also check out. Sorry, I had it in my head for a while, but I forgot what I was gonna say. All right, if I remember, I'll get. Oh no, yes. Speaking of 80s sound, in 1975. 1975, they had a new album out this year as well during the pandemic. So check that out as well. Just type in 1975 on YouTube, and you'll find it. It's good stuff. Tony Montoya says Nick G 2004 on TikTok. Yes, Tony Montoya. Who's my favorite rapper? NWA, obviously. Ice Cube. I would also say LL Cool J if you want to go a little old school. Jay-Z. Kanye West, it really depends. Kanye, it's just because of his personality type, it's hard for me to really like the guy, and not to mention how he sabotaged Taylor Swift's acceptance speech back in 2009 at the MTV Music Awards. So it's really hard for me to like the guy, but I have seen him live because back in 2011 he did a co-headline tour with Jay-Z. It was like a collab concert, and it was cool to see that. It was a great show for sure. But to like Kanye, honestly, it's a little bit hard because he's an interesting guy, but he does have some good hits for sure. So I can't deny that. Thanks for looking at my glasses. I got a nice compliment by Reed on TikTok for my glasses. Thank you so much for Mick Patton on TikTok for wishing me a Merry Christmas. Thank you so much. Thanks. I'm glad you guys like the hat. I don't listen to Randolph, actually. Someone's asking me on TikTok, do I listen to Randolph? I don't. Cassie's asking what's my favorite 80s glam band. I would say my favorite 80s glam band are the following. I was a sucker for Motley Crue for a little while. Rat, depending on the song, but I love Round and Round by Rat for sure. I would say not Journey, but Whitesnake. Whitesnake, yes. Whitesnake for sure. Is This Love is a great ballad by those guys. Give Me Just a Little More Time. That's another good one too. That's another bop. What else is there? Well, I do have a friend, however, named Camille. She is a glam rock encyclopedia, so she will tell you every single thing about her favorite glam rock bands. It's her specialty almost. Do you smell like? Reed is asking, do I smell like strawberries and ramen noodles? That's a weird combination, but strawberries, I would like to smell like that. To smell like ramen noodles, not really. But to cook ramen noodles, oh yeah, I would go all in. If you haven't followed my Instagram, I actually posted on my story last week where I was making ramen noodles, and then I decided to add some cooked pork chops. I fried up some pork chops too. I love to cook, just so you guys know. But in my ramen noodles, I actually like cooked up some pork chops and sliced them up and put them in a bowl of ramens. And then I also fried an egg sunny side up. I also added some freshly cut green onions. I also added like cooked spinach. Add some sriracha sauce in there as well. And that's it. You get a killer ramen. That's how you guys do it. Reed is saying love the bird as well. Yeah, people are complimenting this paper bird that my wife has put on a ceiling in my bedroom. Actually, for those on Twitch, if you can't see it, I'll tip my camera up here. There you go. Yes. So for all those people on Twitch who are wondering what the heck was up with a bird in the ceiling, or what is he talking about? That's the bird I'm talking about. This is my wife's bird that she put on a ceiling. So yeah, Jules loves poison. Yeah, Brett Michaels, what a guy, hey. Brett Michaels is such a party animal. Cassie says she likes poison also, but also Dokken and Bon Jovi. Of course, Cassie. Like it. Hey, it is your life. See what I did there, Cassie? See what I did there? It's now or never. How am I gonna live forever? Hello, Finn on TikTok as well. Thanks for popping into my podcast to say hi. Open Q&A. If you just popped in, it's Open Q&A right here on Twitch and TikTok tonight on this podcast, Music Talk Mondays. If you guys have any burning questions, let me know. All things related to music, of course. Unfortunately, I can't answer your science questions or politics questions. That's not my expertise. We just talk about music here, guys. Jules says, I've talked to Vince on a show called Rockline. No way, that's really cool. Vince Neil, hey? Well, you know what got me more into Motley Crue? I mean, of course, like obviously Beavis and Butthead were one of my inspirations. Well, I wasn't inspiration, but they were my gateway being exposed to Motley Crue because Dr. Feelgood was playing. Weird Al got me into it as well. Weird Al got me into Motley Crue because he had a polka medley where he put Dr. Feelgood in there. So all thanks to Weird Al for that. Thank you, Weird Al. Let's see. Okay. Actually, I should talk to you about, I should ask you guys this. If you're a Motley Crue fan, have you guys listened to the album Hell in High Heels back in 2000? That was 20 years ago. But to me, I thought that was a great album. A lot of songs were pretty catchy. I mean, of course, it's not as heavy as Dr. Feelgood and all those other songs from the past. But honestly, I enjoyed New Tattoo. Sorry, yeah, the album was called New Tattoo, but the single was called Hell in High Heels. Sorry, yes, my mistake. See, when you have too much data in your head, it's like it gets lost and you get things mixed up. Yes. So Hell in High Heels was a great single from the album New Tattoo. Hunter's asking, have I seen the Motley Crue biopic? Yes, I have. Quite interesting. I actually did not mind it at all. Well, the beginning was almost a bit over raunchy to my liking, but the rest of it was actually pretty cool just to see how Motley Crue started, basically. Jules is saying, is that the one with the other singer? No. New Tattoo actually had Vince Neil on there, believe it or not. So, yeah. Yes, but guys, like I said, my musical taste is all over the map, but especially in the rock department as well. So I'd be listening to like Motley Crue, Ozzy Osbourne, Nirvana, sometimes some Soundgarden, Pearl Jam, but I'm also into bands like Fall Out Boy, My Chemical Romance, Blink-182, Limp Bizkit, Rage Against the Machine, Korn, Papa Roach, Linkin Park, Anima, Puddle of Mud. Yes, I said Anima. So you guys don't know Anima? Anima were a cool new metal band that was, I think the lead singer of Anima is related to Jonathan Davis from Korn somehow because he sounded almost just like him when he sings. So, anyways. Oh, thanks for the emojis. Was it Communist Shrek 420 on TikTok? Funny username. That's awesome. But yeah, so... but of course, yeah, and then of course I enjoy bands like Bring Me the Horizon, Enjoy Slipknot, Sleeping with Sirens, obviously, all time. A little bit of All Time Low. What else is there? Set It Off. I've seen Set It Off live, like 3 times now, honestly. And Set It Off are an amazing band. Who else? This Canadian pop punk group called Mariana's Trench. Amazing band too. Definitely worth checking out. Yes, I do like rock. Classic rock. Yes, I'm into that too because of my parents, obviously. So the Beatles, Beach Boys. What else is there? I got into the Guess Who when I was when I was 18. One day I was shopping. I was shopping at a music shop, and then they were playing some Guess Who in the background. And I asked the clerks. I was like, "This is pretty cool stuff. Who's this?" And the staff were like, "Oh, this is the Guess Who. You should buy their greatest hits album." So I did, and it's amazing. And of course, I get to actually hear their version, the original version of American Woman because of them. But mind you, I have come across the Guess Who's music from the past, in passing, obviously. Like These Eyes, like my parents know that song for sure, right? And so I've heard that song a million times before. But then hearing their version of American Woman, and then I was exposed to other songs like No Sugar Tonight by the Guess Who. Amazing stuff, seriously. Jules says he started listening to Corey Taylor's new album. Very good. So, Jules, here's the funny thing that now that you mentioned Corey Taylor's new album, it was played yesterday on WWE Wrestling's pay-per-view, TLC, Tables, Ladders, and Chairs pay-per-view. It is it's really cool and to hear that on there. But I've seen Stone Sour live. I've seen Corey Taylor live when he played with Stone Sour back in 2009. It was part of the tour he did with Disturbed and Avenged Sevenfold called the Uproar Music Festival. Great lineup, honestly. But yes, if you want my wrestling opinion, though, since I mentioned WWE TLC, Tables, Ladders, and Chairs pay-per-view, that wasn't that bad. I mean, like I said, wrestling's not the same right now because there's no audience because of pandemic, right? Although AEW, All Elite Wrestling, has audiences, but because this is like an outdoor-ish kind of venue, I guess it's a little bit safer, but they don't have too many people inside the arena, and there hasn't been any COVID cases because of that too. So there were audience members, but they were all spread out, so it helps. It helps a lot. Oh yes. Oh, so the Drew story on TikTok says, "Hi Eddie, I know you get this all the time, but I really appreciate your tutorials." No problem, Drew. I'm really glad you enjoyed my channel. I always do my best to make it helpful for you guys and keep it as simple as possible at the same time. Because don't forget, TikTok's premise is that you have only 1 minute for your video, 1 minute max. So make it the best 1 minute as you can. So I always wanted to make that app as useful as I can, like I said in the beginning of this podcast. So to all my supporters, you guys are an amazing bunch. Thank you. Thank you so much, both Twitch and TikTok. You guys are amazing. Thank you. Cassie is asking, do I know Danger? Danger, I have heard the name, but I've actually never heard any of their stuff. It's kind of like if you talk about bands like the another underrated band that I did enjoy, that I've been exposed to back in 2009, was TV on the Radio. And actually, one of my bandmates, Joel from The Naturals, he loves that group to death, like probably more than I do. So, yeah. Let's see. Darren is asking. Darren says yes, he loves Danger. Awesome, Darren. Good taste. Fred is saying Heli Tabernac. Yeah, for sure. Like so many Danger. Yeah, like I've heard the name for sure. I'm sure one of my friends who is into their kind of music would probably tell more about it than I can, which is awesome. I've also got, okay, now if you guys are in any of my viewers here in Ireland, I did this on my streams quite a few times. I was covering Over the Hills and Far Away by Gary Moore, who was like this rock and roll Irish dude back from the 80s. And of course, Nightwish did a cover on that, which I guess was more well known probably if you're into Nightwish. Nightwish did a really badass cover of Over the Hills and Far Away by Gary Moore. And yeah, it's really cool to hear such a really catchy tune. But I always wonder if Gary Moore is underrated as well. If he is, let me know if you're familiar with his work. But Nightwish, oh man, If I could see Nightwish live, I would. It would be amazing, honestly. I would love to see Nightwish live. Have you guys ever seen them? I guess that's my next question to you guys. Have you guys ever seen Nightwish live, or have you ever heard of them? Tell me about your favorite European rock bands, even if you wanted to. Blind Guardian. If you guys haven't checked out my YouTube channel yet, I actually made a cover of the Bard's song "In the Forest," the acoustic track, on my YouTube channel. I love that song. Blind Guardian. I just love those guys. I got into them because one time I was watching a music video on television of one of their songs. I forget which song it was, but I was just like, "Oh, medieval rock! I should check this out." And Blind Guardian are just amazing. They're an amazing band, no doubt about it. So yes, thumbs up to Blind Guardian. If you guys haven't checked out Blind Guardian, please check them out for sure. Dat Boy on TikTok says, "I just finished your Afro Man tutorial." Thank you so much, man. Thanks for enjoying my Afro Man tutorial. One of my favorite songs I love to play because that's one of the biggest sing-alongs. When I've done gigs, especially like when I've done my piano lounge gigs, people love that song, honestly. Jules says Scorpion is his favorite European band, for sure. Now, forgive me that I asked this, but Scorpion is the one that did "Here I Am Rocking Like a Hurricane." Is that correct? Let me know. I could be wrong. I know I'm gonna get slaughtered for asking that question, but like I said, Scorpion. Even though I do like 80s rock, it is a bit before my time, anyways. So just to be honest with you guys about that. So yeah, let me know. Oh, Jules says yes. Oh, I was correct. Nice. Awesome. Great. Good to know. But yeah, definitely, guys. Oh, actually, here's another one. Remember him? HIM? Those guys? If you're into gothic rock, it's back in like the mid 2005s or whatever, 2005, 2006. That was my go-to band during that time, because I actually had a friend who was like this Asian goth guy, right? And he was into like metal, but he also loved the band HIM. Those, yeah, the guy's deep voice, like some of the stuff is pretty catchy, like "Funeral of Hearts," "Right Here in My Arms," "Rip Off the Wings of a Butterfly." Like, it's just catchy. I don't know. The guy's a genius. I'll admit it. But I mean, not something I'll listen to all the time. But those are my three favorite hits from that band. Actually, the lead singer from HIM also guest starred on Apocalyptica, called "Bittersweet," which featured another European rock singer. I've heard the guy's name. Forgive me if I don't know it. But if you guys know it, let me know. But Apocalyptica, and HIM. Oh, such a good combo. It was a beautiful, beautiful combo. Cassie says, "No One Like You" is my favorite Scorpion song. That is actually a pretty good song too. Super Shady 4444 says, "Bro, I love your easy song videos for guitar." No problem, Super Shady. Thank you so much for liking my content on there. You are an amazing supporter. With that, I thank you so much. Thank you, Super Shady. Super Shady says that the tutorials got them to pick up guitar again. I appreciate that. I appreciate that so much, Super Shady. Hey! Our old friend, Super Deep Bro, is here. Super Deep Bro actually posted in response to my George Michael tutorial, Careless Whisper. So I did a tutorial on my TikTok channel of Careless Whisper like a couple of days ago, and Super Deep Bro on TikTok managed to post a video of him playing the actual song based on my tutorial, and did a good job playing it. So Super Deep Bro on TikTok, I salute you, my friend. You are the winner of this week. I appreciate that, man. You are amazing. But of course, like I said, you guys on Twitch and you guys on TikTok are amazing people. I appreciate you guys so much for that. So, again, for those who just joined in, what is going on? Well, this is my weekly podcast called Music Talk Mondays. Music Talk Mondays is a weekly podcast I do right here on Twitch and TikTok, all things related to music. We do Q&A sessions, discussions. I even do my topic discussions, too, talking about all things related to instruments, artists, bands, you name it. We talk about it. Hello, T Panda 5. Thanks for joining in on my TikTok channel as well. Thanks for joining into my live podcast this week, Music Talk Mondays. Thank you. Super Deep Bro, you are the man as well. You are an amazing human being. Super Deep Bro just said I'm the man, but honestly, you're the man, Super Deep Bro. But you know who else is the man? My WWE wrestler, Becky Lynch. She's amazing. I heard she's a mother, or she's going to be a mother pretty soon. That's her. Sorry, side note. I'm a wrestling fan also, guys. If you ever want to talk about wrestling, feel free to message me anytime. What else is there you can talk about? Well, guys, I'm always open to more questions for you guys related to music. Anything you want to bring up, open discussion. I would love to hear from you guys. Thanks for tuning into actually, just a nice little FYI. I will try to post this on YouTube later tonight after this podcast is over. If not tonight, I will try to upload this onto my YouTube channel maybe tomorrow morning. So we'll see how it goes. But I know I'm going to be getting I know starting at midnight, I may be getting a lot of birthday wishes coming up. So on my Facebook page, my personal Facebook page. So it's going to be a big one, a big chore. Well, not a chore. Sorry, no, it's not a big. It's not a chore. No, a really cool thing to scroll through for like the next little while, the next 24 hours or so. T Panda says I have a hammered dulcimer and I haven't a clue how to use it or tune it rather. Actually, I wish I knew how to play a dulcimer, but T Panda or everyone else, you know who else used a dulcimer? Was Joni Mitchell, Canadian legend Joni Mitchell. She's an amazing musician for those who don't know. Joni Mitchell is actually amazing, a great singer. If you're into like cool, like easy listening folk music, she's cool. She's the one that did that song, Pay Paradise, put up a parking lot. That one, that's her. Super Deep Bro, my YouTube channel is same thing, EddieLamMusic, same username. It's nice and consistent. So definitely check it out. All my covers are on there. And just to let you guys know, on a little preview, I am doing a online collab with another friend of mine from Vancouver, Canada. I won't give away what it is, but it is a video game cover. It is a video game cover for sure. I'm just not going to tell you what it is. But it will be released hopefully either by this week or next week. We'll see how what other instrumentation we need to add. But yeah. Let's see. Cassie's asking what's my top five guitar players. I'm gonna. This is not in any order, but of course, like the late great Eddie Van Halen, rest in peace. Jimi Hendrix. I would say Jimi Hendrix is number one. Jimi Hendrix is number one. Number two, Eddie Van Halen. Number three, I'm gonna say Carlos Santana. Number four, I'm gonna say Jimmy Page, and number five, there I say it. I am going to say Slash. There you go. Those are my top five. In no particular order except Jimi Hendrix being number one. I think the reason why I like Jimi Hendrix is because he's a left-handed guitar player who flipped his guitar upside down and even restrung it differently from what that's what I was told. But yeah. There you go. Yes, Cassie says all great guitar players. Thank you, Cassie. I'm glad you agree with me on my top five picks right there. There's a lot more, I would say, of course. Yeah. Oh, here's a question for you guys. Have you guys ever been in a mosh pit before? Let me know. Type in the comments below. Have you guys been in a mosh pit? Have you guys ever crowd surfed? I've moshed, but I've never crowd surfed before. It was only because I'm always like I was a little bit on the heavier side before, and I just didn't want people to break their backs when they lift me up. That's just me. But moshing, that was something I actually enjoyed doing for sure. And honestly, I did it a few years ago too. I know as an older guy, I've done it as an older dude. But one time, I was coming back from a wedding gig. One of my friend was getting married, and they invited me over to play piano while one of my good friends, she was singing, a fellow musician friend, she was singing at the wedding. So I was doing it all dressed up, suit and tie and everything like that, right? And then after that was over, then I drove down, all the way down back to catch a friend's pop punk gig. And It was so cool because like there was a pit going on, and I said, "Hey, screw it, I'm gonna go into the mosh pit," and so I did. So I was moshing in my suit and tie and everything. I moshed in style, basically. That's what I did. T-Pan is asking what my favorite bass players. Obviously, Justin from Tool. Mike Starr from Alice in Chains. Geddy Lee from Rush. Really great guy. Geezer Butler from Black Sabbath. There you go. My favorite bass players. Oh, actually, who else is also good? I actually admire people who play bass and lead sing. Sheryl Crow has done it on numerous occasions. I've seen, of course, Sting is one of them as well. Geddy Lee, too, of course, like I mentioned. But who else has done it? Of course, Slayer. Yes. Slayer's front man has played bass and sang, too. But I wanted to bring up Sheryl Crow because I've seen it on like live television before, and I think that's really freaking cool. Trying to think. You know who I would love to see play bass? Honestly, I would love to see Nancy Wilson from Heart play bass. I think that would be really cool. She's an amazing guitar player as well, but she's an amazing acoustic guitar player. But I would love to see her play bass one day. I bet she would knock it out of the park. That's my little guess. T Panda says Cannibal Corpse Circle Pit is brutality. Yo, I bet it is. Especially if you want to hear songs like Pound It Into Dust or Hammer Smash Face by Cannibal Corpse, yeah, I would love to see that pit go wild. I would not want to be in it because it may be a bit too rough. I always feel like all the metal guys who mosh at Cannibal Corpse concerts, they're like probably like large, tall dudes, and I'm always afraid because I'm this little guy. Okay, I'm only 5'7". I'm always afraid I'm gonna get crushed. But that's just me. But I would enjoy their show, no doubt about it. So Cassie's pick for favorite guitar players is Eddie Van Halen. Good choice. George Lynch. Yes. Number 3 on her list is CC DeVille. Number 4 is Steve Vai. And number 5 is Richie Sambora. Good choice, Cassie. Good list. Primus. Oh, yes, definitely. Yes, T-Pana says Primus. Jerry Was a Race Car Driver is a great song. Just so you know. But Les Claypool is a genius, though. Like he is a genius outside the box songwriter, so I give him credit to that. But this is the guy who wrote the theme from South Park, and this guy must be a gajillionaire by now, like because of that show. South Park is one of my favorite shows too, growing up as a teenager. And honestly, I'm so glad it's still relevant today. Trey Parker and Matt Stone, amazing geniuses. My applause to them. And did you guys know Trey Parker is actually a very sick piano player? He's an amazing piano player. Just reading more of this. Super Deep Rose asking my honest thoughts on Jacob Collier. I have no comments on that, actually. I do have friends who have more in-depth knowledge about Jacob, though, so I should probably try to get guest stars on here one day. So once I try to figure out like how to get guest stars on here virtually, maybe I should get some different guest stars on here so they can have more in-depth discussions about different artists that I may not have knowledge about, but they would have more knowledge about. So that's gonna be my plan, hopefully within the new year. Jimmy D69. Hello, Jimmy is one of my loyal followers here on TikTok, on Instagram. Thanks for tuning to my podcast every week. You are amazing, Jimmy. You are the man. T-Pana says, Primus has the best bass lines ever. Oh, yeah. Especially in the beginning of Jerry is a Race Car Driver. Like, it's so awesome. So awesome. But, of course, Winona's Brick Brown Beaver is another fun song. Pretty hilarious song. Play on words, obviously, though. Make it innuendo-ville, but still a fun song nonetheless. Super Deep Rose says, I'm not really a fan of Jacob, but he uses crazy polyrhythms. Yeah, that's true. Thank you so much, Jimmy. Thanks for loving the live shows. And for those who have tuned, actually, I should bring this up too. For those who have me on Instagram, thank you guys so much for tuning into my birthday performance live stream, birthday/Christmas performance live stream on Instagram and Facebook. If you guys follow me on both those platforms and you've tuned into my live streams performance on this past Saturday, thank you so much. You guys are such an amazing bunch. If you guys do want to catch the replay, it is on Instagram. It's Instagram. Yeah, Instagram username is EddieLamMusic, so you can catch me on there. So, yeah. But thank you guys so much. And thank you guys so much for your amazing donations on PayPal, too. I really appreciate that so much. It does help keep support artists like us, basically, because we can't do live shows right now, but this is doing something like this, to live stream, to do virtual shows, and just put ourselves on YouTube. We appreciate all you guys' support for that. Oh, thank you so much, Super Shady 4444, for the birthday wish. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much, Cassie, for the birthday wish as well. No problem. It's not a big deal, honestly, but I really appreciate the birthday wishes. You guys are so amazing. T-Pen says, too many puppies, I promise. Oh, yeah, that was another one. And, of course, Premise had the other song that they played on the Woodstock 1994. Like, da-da, bum, 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 da-da, bum, 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 da-da, da-da, bum, 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 bum. I forgot the name of that song. It's at the tip of my tongue, but I'll go look at I'll go look at my old Woodstock 94 CD again when I get the chance. All right. Yes, folks, please feel free to bring in some more questions. It's open Q&A today, open discussion of all things related to music. This is why we're here, and I appreciate you guys so much for being so engaging. You guys are one of the most engaging crowds I've ever been with on both TikTok and Twitch. You guys are just good people all around. So let me know. Here's a question for you guys. Who would be the first artist to see live once this pandemic is over? Once live shows could be a thing again? Which band or artist would you see live first thing? Famous artist, like any big mainstream artist. Let me know. Super Shady is asking what instruments do I play. So, not to toot my own horn or anything. I'm not as, my instrument list is not as long as Sting's. Sting plays a lot of instruments. I would say he gets the record. He should get a medal for that. But so I play piano, I play guitar, I play bass, I play drums. I used to play clarinet back in high school. I'm still able to pick it up probably. I played a little bit of alto sax, which I've self-taught myself. I've also done. I played a xylophone before as well. I used to play violin when I was a kid, but only just for a few years. But I just didn't have time anymore because of high school. High school just got busy for me. What else is there? What else can count as an instrument? Well, I guess I can play percussion instruments too, like the djembe or the cajon even. So I'll just count that as one little category, which is general percussion. Actually, you know what? I don't want to say recorder, but I would say the recorder. But I also would say the Irish whistle. Yes, I used to play a little bit of that. I still have it at home, but I just haven't got a chance to sit around to play because I honestly have no use for Irish whistles right now. So I need to master that soon. Cassie says, so to answer my survey question, which band would you see live first thing after the pandemic is done? Jamie says Guns N' Roses. Jamie's asking to have I heard a band called Took. Never heard of the band called Took. I would love to know more about Took. Cassie says she was going to see Bon Jovi and Bryan Adams this summer, but COVID, obviously, yes. Jules says he saw Bryan Adams in 1992, so Jules was just a kid when he saw Bryan Adams live in 1992. Lucky you, Jules, you amazing human being. Actually, I'll tell you a really funny thing amazing thing that happened to a friend of mine named Sabrina. My friend Sabrina, she actually went to see Bryan Adams a long time ago when she was 13 years old live. I think she had front row seats somewhere near the stage. And whenever Bryan Adams would do that song he did with Sporty Spice, "When You're Gone," uh, he would want to get a female member from the audience to sing with him on stage. That's what he would do. So he would actually bring up. So he brought my friend to sing "When You're Gone" on stage as a duet, and she actually knocked it out of the park. She managed to sing the harmony, Sporty Spice's part nicely. Like, it was amazing. She doesn't have it on video, but because of what happened with her singing with Bryan Adams on stage, she was actually put on not the front page, but she was. Someone wrote an article about her on a local newspaper here in Vancouver, and I thought that was pretty awesome. I'm like, I can't believe my friend Sabrina got a chance to sing with Bryan Adams on stage. It's really cool, honestly. If I had memorized the lyrics to "When You're Gone," and Bryan Adams asked me to sing Sporty Spice's part for that song, I would do it in a heartbeat. Yes, Cassie, you're right. She is really lucky. So, yeah. So, Sabrina, if you're listening to this, honestly, that is so awesome. I'm so jealous you get to sing with Bryan Adams on stage. Speaking of singing with celebrities, a few of my friends got to jam with All Time Low on stage on not one but two occasions too. Two occasions. And it was really cool. And Alex Gaskar from All Time Low was so easygoing. He was just like, "Yeah, come on up, sing with me." But it's really cool when bands let their fans jam with them. I think it's really awesome. I mean, of course, the infamous incident we all knew when Keith Moon could not play drums for obvious reasons, right? And the Who had to ask the audience members, "Is there any drummers in here in the audience who knows every Who song by heart?" And luckily there was. Some young kid went up and actually played drums with the Who. It was great. I think that's awesome. Cassie says, "I can't sing to save my life. I totally take that opportunity." Cassie, honestly, you know what? I think Bryan Adams actually did had singers who were not pro also, and he was easygoing about it. That's what I heard. So, yeah. Now, who would I... Okay. Now, if I were to really have somebody... some celebrity ask me to come up on stage and sing or play with them, it would be Alice in Chains, no doubt about it. I would love to sing Lane Staley's part. Depending on the song, obviously. But yeah, I would love to sing with Alice in Chains, or even just jam with them, at least. I would. And actually, you know who else? Which other band also lets their fans jam with them? Sometimes it would be Paramore. Hayley Williams is so generous. I think she let somebody at a show play guitar with them. She let somebody sing with them. I think one of the Farrell brothers from Paramore, the drummer from Paramore, actually let somebody play drums with Paramore also, which is great, honestly. If I could play with Paramore, I could too. I would love to work with Hayley Williams, honestly. She's an amazing vocalist. If you guys haven't checked out her solo stuff yet, please check that out too. Just saying. Yeah. All right, cool, guys. I'm up for some more questions. Please lay them on me, guys. Again, anything related to music, anything you want to bring up, I am up for it anytime. This is open Q&A for tonight's podcast throughout the whole duration of the podcast. Whatever you guys may have. Now, I should say, actually, because when I was asking what band you would see, I'm looking at your guys' list of what bands you would want to see first thing after this pandemic is over. So I had tickets to go see Sleeping with Sirens with Amity Affliction. I really wanted to go to that show live. I actually bought my tickets, including the VIP, to hang out with the bands live backstage before the show. But I did not get that chance because pandemic happened, and everyone's concerts got canceled. But I was gonna go see that one. The most recent concert I did see before the pandemic happened was in February. I went to see Set It Off perform live, and a few of my friends' bands actually opened for them, which is really cool for them that they got this opportunity to do that. It's great. But that was pretty much the last concert I've been to, and then no concert since then. So, and as myself as a performer who does a lot of shows too, it sucks to not do shows right now. But at least I can gladly say with the virtual shows here, doing it online, and posting content on YouTube, it does give me that opportunity to be more creative, I would say. And of course, it gives me more opportunities just to reach out to you guys from across the globe. Because, like I said, I've always stuck around with my local scene for the longest time. Right? It was I just wanted to be, a solid local hero, well, not hero, but a solid local musician who could, just do gigs around town, regardless if I'm playing solo or with my bands. But who knew that this year, but despite this challenging year of 2020, it would lead me to putting myself out there to everyone on the interwebs, honestly, and it's great. And I was looking at my analytics of my TikTok channel specifically, and a majority of my viewers, of my followers, are from America. So I just want to give you guys a big round of applause. Thank you so much for everyone in the States, especially for tuning in. But of course, as always, big thanks to my home country people too, in Canada, for following me as well, supporting me. And of course, there's a small percentage too from Ireland. So to all my Irish followers, thank you so much. Jimmy says Corey Churko and Todd Kearns, both from Vancouver, playing Took. Check them out. You know what's interesting, Jimmy, that you mentioned Todd Kearns, because Todd Kearns was inducted into the Vancouver Entertainment Hall of Fame last year. So he's got his own, he's got his name on the sidewalks in downtown Vancouver. And they actually put his name outside of this nightclub we have in Vancouver called the Roxy, which he used to play religiously. And it was very fitting to see that. I think that's awesome. Todd Kearns also played for Slash, too, if I recall. That's what one of my bandmates told me about that. So, yeah. I saw Todd Kearns live when I was, a young pup. But, yeah, I saw him play. And he was a very entertaining guy. This is back when he was not that well known yet, but a lot of us come from humble beginnings, honestly, right? And there's no doubt about it. Like when you see someone's career blossom into something huge, it's great to see that. Jimmy says he's very talented. Yes, I agree, Jimmy. He is a very talented guy. Quite the character too. Quite the character. So yeah. I know that it was I do like the fact that at least I can say in my hometown Vancouver, although I will say, even though our local music scene can still we have a lot of work to do to get better, I do admire that fact that we do have our Walk of Fame in the streets of downtown Vancouver, where we see people's names on there. I think it's really cool. Specifically, it's on this place called Granville Street. That is in downtown. But yeah, you'll see some names on there. So you see someone's name, and they tell you the category. So it'd be so and so, music, radio, blah blah blah. So there's that. Cassie says there's barely any music scene here in Nova Scotia. That's a shame, Cassie. I'm really sorry to hear that. I was hoping Nova Scotia would have a really good music scene. But I'll tell you though, Cassie, if you play guitar and you want to collaborate with other people and form a band or a duo at least, I think you have the power to make that happen, and you guys can be the talk of the town. I hope you guys will. That would be awesome, Cassie. I would love to see you succeed in that department. Durwood62. Hello, Durwood62. Welcome to the podcast here. Again, Music Talk Mondays. We talk about all things related to music. We talk about our instruments, bands, artists, songs, soundtracks, you name it. Let's talk about it. Cassie says, I hope I can get somewhere. Cassie, you will. As long as you surround yourself with like-minded people and supportive people as well. And as long as you push out some really cool, entertaining content, you will be good. And you know what? Honestly, this is where I will have to give you guys that kind message. When you are starting out and want to put yourself out there, musically speaking, just be yourself. Basically, it doesn't matter. You don't have to try too hard to sound like somebody else. But just do what inspires you and just go for it and put it out there. And as long as you enjoy it, because what happens is that when audience members see that you're enjoying it and if they vibe with it, then they're like, wow, this is awesome. I can dig this. And you get a follow. So there you go. And because like I said, part of music is always about connecting with the audience, right? And I hate to say it, I hate to quote this guy again, but Kanye West, as kooky as he is, he made a good point. Don't worry about the numbers. Are you connecting? That is the bigger question. That was a great question by Kanye West, even though he's a bit of an oddball. But that is one little gem of a message I can find from that guy. Yay, awesome. I'm glad you guys are interacting with each other too on in a comment section. It's good to see you guys start building a community within each other as well. So that's awesome. Good on you guys. Round of applause. So, here's another survey question. Now, do you guys have any other favorite Christmas songs that is not the usual ones? Because I know we're all probably tired of hearing Mariah Carey, Michael Bublé, and of course the usual ones like Jingle Bells, Santa Claus is Coming to Town, and all that stuff. All the usual carols. So, do you guys have any not so usual Christmas songs, Christmas carols that you guys enjoy? I'll tell you one that I do enjoy. Bruce Cockburn actually did a really cool rendition of Mary Had a Baby. Check it out. It's actually pretty cool. Bruce Cockburn, guys. My other favorite one on my playlist that I play every year for the last 20 plus years on my playlist is the Ramones, Merry Christmas, I Don't Want to Fight Tonight. That's another great one. Definitely worth checking out. Michael Bublé and Blake Shelton has a good duet called Home, which is another great Christmas tune by those guys. What else is there? Of course, oh yes, Monty Python. Mr. Eric Idle did a song called F Christmas. Actually, a friend of mine named Esther, she did a cover on that too, on her YouTube channel. Yeah. Cassie said, I like that one. Ramones is great. Thank you. I'm glad somebody else knows that one. Oh, sometimes I always keep thinking if like, my playlist is a little bit obscure. Like I got some, playlists, like lists of songs that in my collection of MP3s or CDs even that I know people will know for sure. But I got the oddball, obscure ones too. But of course, my bandmate Joel from the Naturals, he's got the bigger list of obscurity stuff than I do. I would say he has that hipsterish type playlist in some ways. What else is there? Yeah, and honestly, like if what else do you have that's not Mariah Carey? What else do you have that's not Michael Bublé, or that's not Trans-Siberian Orchestra? Because I mean, we hear those guys every year, but for me, I like to hear something that's fresh and new, or at least if it's an old track, at least it's something that's new to me and I can enjoy it. Oh, All Time Low, Merry Christmas, Kiss My Ass. That's another great one too. Fool's Holiday, also by All Time Low. Another great one. In the boy band category, obviously, I know everyone says NSYNC, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Yeah, in the boy band category, that's a given for sure. But if you want something that's also pretty good in the boy band category, please check out Christmas Time by Backstreet Boys. Not the Charlie Brown song, but, it's a Backstreet Boys original that they wrote. For NSYNC, I know everybody has, like I said, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, most overplayed one in my opinion. But definitely check out this other one they wrote called "I Don't Want to Spend One More Christmas Without You." It's a great ballad, honestly. It's beautiful. It's very, very beautiful. Another one I would say in the boy band category is Backstreet Boys' version of The First Noel. Excellent rendition of the carol. Let's see. Daniel says, I love rock Christmas covers. Yes, I agree. Jimmy says, take care, everyone. Okay, Jimmy D69, thank you so much for on TikTok. Thank you so much for tuning in to my podcast. Really appreciate it. And if you want to watch the replay of this podcast, like I said, folks, it is going to be on YouTube. If not by tonight, hopefully by tomorrow morning. So we'll see how it goes. Daniel says Panic at a Disco have great covers too. Oh yes, Panic at a Disco. Brendan Urie is so talented. Like I was gonna say it straight up. Brendan Urie is a super talented guy. To hear him sing Into the Unknown from Frozen 2, brilliant, honestly. I mean, I could, although my favorite, my dream team up, I would love to see. This is me personally, but I would love to see Brendan Urie and Cody Carson from Set It Off to team up together and do something special. But of course, what else is there? I mean, I would love to see Brendan Urie and Hayley Williams do something together. I think that would be awesome if they can collab. Yeah, and actually, funny little thing that I saw on YouTube. I think this might be Brendan Urie's little plan here, but what he did a couple years back when Panic at a Disco were touring, he actually in the background before before Panic's set begins, in the background music, I think the song selection was Africa from Toto. I bet you that's his doing because it's happened on a few occasions at different shows in the stadium during the Panic at the Disco tour. So I bet you that anything that's Brendan Urie's doing there. But it's so cool to see Africa being played and like the whole crowd in the audience, they'd be singing along to that song because everybody loves that song. Daniel's asking what I think about Tenacious D and Jack Black. Amazing, talented, hilarious guys. Actually, one time in my live stream, when I was doing my piano live streams here on TikTok and Twitch, I did Tribute by Tenacious D because I've listened to that song for so many years, honestly. And you know, I was so glad to be exposed to Jack Black and Tenacious D, and of course, you know, School of Rock is a great movie, no doubt about it. It's a classic. But I still have not seen Pick of Destiny yet. I still need to see that Tenacious D movie, Pick of Destiny. But I mentioned before, speaking of Jack Black, my dream lineup would be to see Tenacious D, Flight of the Conchords, and Steel Panther in the same show together. I think it would be great. That's just me. This is me speaking. But I would have loved to see that Jack Black and Jack White collab. I would love to see it. Yeah, I think it would be awesome. Okay. Well, guys, you know what? Time is definitely up for me. But I just want to say it's been such a pleasure talking to you guys here on tonight's podcast. You guys are an amazing bunch. And again, I don't ask a lot for Christmas or my birthday, actually, because it is my birthday. Like in an hour, I will be a year older. I will be an old man pretty soon. But I just want to say thank you guys so much for tuning into my podcast each week. Thank you so much for tuning into my live piano streams or I guess not even just piano, because I know I do guitar sometimes on my live streams, but thank you so much for tuning into my live performance musical streams, regardless if I'm doing karaoke, piano, or guitar. I just thank you guys so much for that, because you guys are just the most amazing bunch ever. Daniel, thank you so much for enjoying my tutorials too. I appreciate you being a follower. So, folks, with that being said, thank you so much. I will try to be back next week if I can. But I may do some live piano streams. Who knows? We'll see. I'm gonna play out and see how it goes for you guys. But regardless, if I don't see you guys before Christmas time, have yourselves a very, very Merry Christmas. Have yourselves a very joyous holiday season. Stay in touch, stay safe, and stay awesome. Thank you so much, guys. You rock. You're awesome.